Welcome to the Samurai Channel. We are all students who have been active for the past 3 years through social networking, street speeches, and signature campaigns. The channel is made up of teenagers and is made up of culturally diverse high school students, including Japanese, half European, and those who have studied abroad. The corruption of politicians in Japan today is glaringly obvious. The adults need to wake up and express their opinions clearly. But even if they realize, more than 70 years of misguided history may prevent decisive action. It is we, the youth, who are in this predicament. That is why we must learn together, speak out and take action, remember who is telling lies, remember why is false history being taught, remember who are the traitors. Remember understand what individuals and nations have done to our country. Let us know if there are any mistakes. We are ordinary high school students, but our leaders have been aware of Japan's shadow since junior high school and have taken action. Mission: Let's protect Japan. Let's be proud of Japan. Support us. Arigatou gozaimasu. Here are the topics we chose this week. Number 1. South Korea, a truly untrustworthy nation. News that South Korea has violated the Japan-South Korea agreement by raising the comfort women issue again at the UN Human Rights Council is drawing significant attention. Although the Yoon Suk-yeol administration had promised to honor the 2015 agreement, during a UN meeting on March 2, 2026, it alleged forced recruitment by the Japanese military and criticized Japan. This has sparked a renewed deterioration in bilateral relations and raised serious doubts about South Korea's credibility. The 2015 agreement had confirmed a final and irreversible resolution to the comfort women issue, alongside a 1 billion yen contribution from Japan. Number 2. MHLW data, foreign births included as total hits record low. According to the preliminary 2025 demographic statistics released by the Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare, the number of births in Japan, including those to foreign residents, decreased by 2.1% from the previous year to 705,809, hitting a record low for the 10th consecutive year. Consequently, the natural population decline reached a record high of 899,845, underscoring the accelerating severity of the declining birth rate. While government projections had initially anticipated births dropping to the 700,000 range in 2042, this reality has arrived 17 years earlier than expected, with analysts citing economic insecurity and shifting values as contributing factors. On a positive note, the number of marriages rose for the second consecutive year to 505,656, and birth numbers in Tokyo and Ishikawa Prefecture saw a year-on-year increase. The birth figures exclusively for Japanese nationals are scheduled for release in June and are estimated to fall within the 660,000 range, suggesting that an increase in foreign births may be buoying the overall numbers. While there are strong demands for enhanced child-rearing support to counter the declining birth rate, discussions surrounding immigration policy are also gaining momentum, with projections indicating that the proportion of foreign residents will exceed 10% by 2040. This demographic shift raises significant challenges for the sustainability of Japan's social security system. Number 3. We don't need Japanese yen anymore, in Ikebukuro's Chinatown. In a Chinatown area spanning roughly 200 square meters north of Tokyo's Ikebukuro Station West exit, Chinese smartphone payment apps like Alipay have become the norm, leading to a decline in the use of the Japanese yen. With Chinese residents and shop owners remarking, "This is already China," everyday shopping and business transactions are conducted entirely in yuan, accelerating the formation of a parallel society. More than 200 Chinese-affiliated stores are clustered together, establishing an independent economic sphere completely detached from local merchants' associations. The emergence of an environment where individuals can live exclusively among other Chinese nationals without ever speaking Japanese is increasingly being viewed as problematic. According to real estate insiders, the recent surge in Chinese tenants has left Japanese property owners with little choice but to adapt to the situation. Concerns over potential tax evasion have also been raised, prompting calls for investigations by national tax authorities. Conversely, the economic benefits brought by an influx of tourists are recognized, sparking debates from the standpoint of multicultural coexistence. Unlike the traditional Yokohama Chinatown, this rapid sinicization serves as a stark symbol of the ongoing transformations within Japanese society. Number 4. Does the dissolution of the Unification Church mean Sakal Gakkai is in the clear? On the 4th, the Tokyo High Court upheld the dissolution order against the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification, formerly the Unification Church, paving the way for liquidation procedures. Citing the ongoing risk of illegal activities such as coercive, high-value donations, the court ordered the revocation of the group's religious corporation status. Meanwhile, the prevailing view is that Sakal Gakkai faces no such legal peril, and its political influence remains robust even after its withdrawal from the ruling coalition. While the dissolution of the Unification Church will aid in victim relief, Sakal Gakkai's continued involvement in policymaking through the Komeito Party has reignited debates regarding the separation of religion and politics. Experts analyze that the fallout from the Unification Church's dissolution will not extend to Sakal Gakkai. While acknowledging a decline in Sakal Gakkai's organizational strength, they emphasize the lack of concrete evidence of unlawful acts as the primary reason for this distinction. Ultimately, the stark difference lies in the massive scale of victimization caused by the Unification Church, whereas Sakal Gakkai's social contribution activities are generally recognized. Although there are growing calls for stricter regulations on religious corporations in the future, Sakal Gakkai's enduring stability stands in sharp contrast. Number 5. In Memoriam, Kohei Otsuka. Kohei Otsuka, a former member of the House of Councilors and acting president of the Democratic Party for the People, passed away from heart failure on March 2 at the age of 66. Born in Nagoya City, he worked at the Bank of Japan before being elected to the upper house for the first time in 2001 with the former Democratic Party of Japan, ultimately serving 4 terms. He held key positions including Senior Vice Minister of the Cabinet Office, Senior Vice Minister of Health, Labor and Welfare, and President of the Democratic Party. He was widely respected as a highly analytical and policy-oriented debater. He ran in the Nagoya mayoral election in November 2024 but was unsuccessful. Although the DPFP considered fielding him in the Aichi 6th District for the February House of Representatives election, he declined due to poor health. DPFP leader Yuichiro Tamaki mourned him as an irreplaceable comrade in arms, and the party expressed its official condolences online. Otsuka is highly regarded for his achievements in navigating the turbulent waters of opposition party realignment, and his loss is deeply felt at Fujita Health University, where he had been mentoring the next generation. A private funeral was held for close relatives, with many political figures mourning his untimely passing. His was a life truly dedicated to the deepening of political discourse. Number 6. Mega Solar Project on Okushima, Nagasaki, 1.52 million panels, 200 billion yen cost. Japan Ecology repeatedly engages in antisocial behavior. The nation's largest-scale mega solar project, planned for Okushima and Terashima in Sasebo City, Nagasaki Prefecture, is moving toward full-scale construction. The project involves installing over 1.52 million solar panels with a total budget of approximately 200 billion yen, and is expected to cover more than 10% of the island's land area. Local residents harbor strong concerns about landscape degradation and the risk of landslides, leading to ongoing opposition movements. Nevertheless, the project operator maintains a hardline stance. Similar projects associated with Japan Ecology have also been cited for environmental violations, drawing criticism for acting in an antisocial manner. Number 7. Kodansha editor faces massive backlash and deletes account over pro-Kurdish post. An active female editor at Kodansha, Emi Mori, sparked a massive uproar on X, formerly Twitter, regarding the Kurdish issue in Kawaguchi City, Saitama Prefecture, by making a defensive post asking, "Has something been taken from you by the Kurds?" She faced fierce backlash from victims' families and local residents. After her post went viral, she reportedly made her account private, locked, or deleted it entirely to avoid dealing with the fallout. This incident has further fueled criticism regarding biased reporting within the media industry. Number 8. Calls to revoke citizenship of naturalized individuals. In recent years, there have been growing calls from certain quarters to revoke the citizenship of naturalized Japanese citizens who commit crimes. However, as of 2025 to 2026, the revocation of citizenship post-naturalization remains extremely rare, with almost no official cases on record. Influenced by the revised Immigration Control Act, which has strictly tightened the requirements for revoking permanent residency, naturalization screenings increasingly emphasize compliance with public obligations. Nevertheless, due to the international mandate to prevent statelessness, revocation is largely restricted to severe cases comparable to high treason. The debate on this issue is ongoing. Number 9. Chinese nationals acting as safe havens for illegal overstayers. In recent crackdown cases, there has been a rising trend of Chinese nationals acting as safe havens by employing or sheltering illegal foreign overstayers, particularly from China, Thailand, etc. For instance, Chinese men have been arrested for forging residence cards and facilitating illegal employment, raising suspicions of organized criminal activity. Reports have also surfaced of incidents where illegal overstayers are sheltered at demolition sites or by dispatch companies, leading to various troubles. Consequently, immigration authorities are stepping up their crackdowns. Number 10. Samurai Japan shines brightly at the WBC. At the 2026 World Baseball Classic Tokyo Pool, Samurai Japan continues to deliver spectacular performances. They secured a 13-0 mercy rule victory over Taiwan, edged out South Korea 8-6 in a closely fought battle, and claimed a 4-3 win against Australia, fueled by Masataka Yoshida's come-from-behind 2-run homer. With these 3 consecutive wins, they clinched the top spot in Pool C and advanced to the quarterfinals. Their momentum is unstoppable, and they look incredibly dependable. Additionally, during the entrance ceremony for the Taiwan vs Czechia game, a Czech player voluntarily took the field waving the Taiwanese flag, despite international rules restricting its display, and the Taiwanese players responded by holding up the Czech flag, creating a deeply moving scene of friendship. Built on a history of past exchanges, this display of profound human warmth has become a major talking point. Samurai Japan's winning streak, coupled with such beautiful bonds that transcend sports, truly touches my heart and makes me want to cheer for them even more. I will continue to fully support the Japanese national team. Thank you for the inspiration.
This week's Kenshita Please. Okinawa is part of Japan. China is lying. China's state-run broadcaster has fabricated a completely false story claiming that the Ryukyu people are being persuaded by Japan's self-defense forces, asserting that we must help the Ryukyu people. This is exactly the same tactic Russia used during its invasion of Ukraine. China is a blatant liar that will say anything to achieve its goals. In the past, during the US administration, China strongly advocated for Okinawa's return to Japan. But now it has flipped 180 degrees, spreading propaganda using unauthorized images of Japanese people. Chief Cabinet Secretary Kihara must clearly declare Okinawa is Japanese territory, and China's claims are a massive lie. People of Okinawa, please do not be deceived by China's lies.
This is the textbook. This week, we'd like to introduce a summary from page 24 of Professor Satoshi Nakamura's book The Truth About Okinawa. Page 24, Dialect. Let's learn the Okinawan dialect. When people from outside Okinawa hear the Okinawan dialect, they can barely understand it and often feel as if it were a foreign language. From a linguistic perspective, however, it is a dialect of Japanese that branched off from the same ancestral language, acting as a time capsule that preserves elements of ancient Japanese predating the Kojiki and the Nihon Shoki. For example, in Okinawa, dragonflies are called eikoju. This shares its etymological roots with Akitsushima, an ancient name for Japan's main island used in the Kojiki. The word akitsu originally meant dragonfly, and the name was given because the shape of the island resembles one. Additionally, the word for head in Okinawan is chiburu. This is actually the origin of the name for alien Chibo in the Ultra 7 television series, named by Tetsuo Kinjo, a scriptwriter from Okinawa. In the Kojiki, the word for head is also read as tsuburi. Traces of these ancient words can also be found in Okinawan place names. For instance, Kochinda and Haiburu preserve archaic terms such as kochi and hei. The main reason the dialect sounds like a foreign language is that its vowels, as well as the conjugation of adjectives and verbs, differ significantly from standard Japanese. However, once you grasp certain underlying rules and patterns, it becomes much easier to understand. Let's take action this week. This week's Let's Take Action this week is we continue to strongly oppose the legalization of the single maiden name system. The rationale for opposing the legalization of selective separate surnames, essentially the legal use of single maiden names, is that it would lead to the collapse of Japan's family registration system, erode the sense of family unity, and create confusion regarding the selection of children's surnames. In China and Korea, separate surnames for husbands and wives are the norm due to Confucian traditions, but children's surnames are overwhelmingly patrilineal. Their family view is fundamentally different from Japan's. If we adopt this here, Japan's family unit-based social structure would become Sinicized or Koreanized, and there are concerns that it would become far easier for naturalized citizens to conceal their backgrounds, because the Koseki system could no longer be protected. Within the Liberal Democratic Party, Tomomi Inada initially opposed separate surnames but later advocated for the legal use of maiden names. She also once tried to push the LGBT bill forward without deliberation. We learned of these facts in real time, yet in 2022, hardly any mainstream adults or opinion leaders spoke out about it. We believe that the proponents are pursuing the ideals of naturalized politicians. Legalizing the single maiden name system would amount to the Sinicization and Koreanization of Japan. Even during the push for the LGBT bill, Ms. Inada, while pretending to be a conservative, acted exactly like a twin to Mizuho Fukushima of the Social Democratic Party. She has been treated as a traitor by her faction, and her human rights first stance has been heavily criticized for destroying Japanese traditions. Everyone, please do not be deceived. Let us protect Japanese culture.
Oh